I'm getting ready to demonstrate the 3 colored pencil techniques on my Rivera sketch, and I want to show how to color intense or dark, how to fade, but most importantly, how to mix colors together, which is what class?
Blending.
There we go. So I'll start with intense first because that's pretty easy. If my light source is coming from top left on this cube, this is going to be my darkest, most intense value. So I'll go ahead and show that real quick. Long what movements, class?
Oval.
There we go. And this would be which value?
Medium light.
And this one?
Light.
Light. Okay.
Light.
Now, I'm not going to fade on this flat-sided form because you only fade on what kind of forms?
Cylinder.
Or
Oval.
curve. There we go. All right. So on this cone, that would be a good place to demonstrate what a fade is. So I'm going to start furthest from my light source. In this case, it's on the right. And my shadow is going to mimic the shape of the form, so it's going to be triangular, or wider at the bottom, narrow at the top. And then to fade, I'm just changing the pressure that I'm applying with my pencil. And the highlight should be closest to the light source or the left, and it's also going to be triangular. Now, just looking from this standpoint, I notice that my dark jumps quickly to mid-range, so I can adjust that by just darkening up this area and working more so that it's a nice fade. Okay. All right. So the fading's good. Now I need to do the blending. And you can do blending with analogous colors or any color in its neutral. I wouldn't recommend blending with complements because you'll get a neutral, muddy looking color in the middle. And usually I would say try blending in these little areas in your negative space. But if you're blending a light and a dark of like a monochrome, you could use the light to be the highlight on your form. So I think what I might do is shade my cylinder using these 2 values of blue, and I'll show them as you're blending. And I found it works best to start with the lightest first. Some people think the dark works the best, but I'm going to go ahead and color intensely with the light. It's kind of a guesstimate, probably halfway, maybe, let's say. And then furthest away from the light source, I'm going to do the dark value. And the dark value is going to fade, but you don't want to start fading it until you're into the light. Because if you fade before that, the white paper shows through and it tends to look washed out or dull, and you don't get a good gradual transition from one color to the next. And there's lots of different directions that you can fade. This one I just did it as a light source. Now if there's a big jump from one color to the next, you probably need to go back and do more of a fade with the darker or the lighter. And you can always take the lighter and color back into the dark to fix it a little bit. But that's just another option. While I'm thinking about it, I want to show you one more thing I saw on a colored pencil demo once. If your pencil is leaving a lot of streaks in there, or a lot of the white paper showing through, you can use a white colored pencil, and that will kind of drag the wax around a little bit of the other colors and make it more of a smoother tone. But if you're careful, you should be able to just get that smooth tone with those long oval movements. But do you see how that makes it nice and smooth? All right. Any questions? Comments? Concerns? And cut.